Full speed, full energy. He has been filming, he has been talking, he has been fixing, and he has been arranging. He describes himself as an autodidact, a self-taught AI nerd who will teach us more and give us insights into how AI can help children with special needs. I hand over the stage to you, Sibby Sylvan.
Thank you very much. It's indeed truly great to see everyone here, especially you digitally. Let's get started, and I will now go through how I have taught and helped, especially my son, to gain the knowledge he is entitled to that the school failed to provide. It gets a bit sensitive sometimes, but we have to deal with it. I want to start by asking a simple question. How many of you use an AI model every day? Raise your hand. If you're digital, write in the chat. The majority, but not everyone. Good. Now we have that covered. I usually say that just because I'm talking about this doesn't mean I have the most knowledge about it, because I believe that you all have much more knowledge than I do, really. But I'm good at this, at doing silly things, at testing, experimenting, because that's how I learn. And that's how my son has learned too. One example is actually my other son, where we used ChatGPT to win a compensation case against the municipality. We didn't use any lawyers, we only used ChatGPT. It was small amounts and nothing significant, but we didn't think we were wrong, and we won. Another thing, you mentioned earlier that AI is not something new, or that it is somewhat new. But I also want to say that the concept of AI has been around since the 1950s. And we need to keep that in mind. And I usually bring up the idea that during the so-called AI winter, everything we have as digital devices today emerged. Computers and mobile phones and the like. And it was because of AI research that we needed these fast processors and graphics processors and the like. So I usually say that it's thanks to AI that we have mobile phones and computers today. I myself started working with AI when I became interested in AI back in 2011 when IBM Watson was released, which was essentially a version of ChatGPT that we began testing and experimenting with. You could write to it and you would get a response back, just like ChatGPT. Another thing that many people don't think about is that ChatGPT as an AI model is not alone out there. These are just a few of the many models available on the market today. We can't use them all, but if you work with Instagram or use Instagram, it's a decoy AI model that ensures you get a good feed on your profile that suits you and your interests. We need to understand that. So the ability to fail is what breeds success. That's how I approach everything I do for my personal development, for my children, and also for my company and my employees. The reason I started with this was actually because I understood that AI will be crucial for future careers. I say it will be for all industries, not just a few. So I usually like to say that we need to take what used to be called the computer license, redo it, and now make an AI license for everyone, for schools, for all industries, professions, and the like. But how have I done this with my son, Leo? Of course, I have used ChatGPT for a large part anyway. You haven't always been able to. But we can take a homework assignment, we can take a task that we have received from school. If he gets this paper in front of him, he might tear it apart. He will throw it. He will look. He will focus on 100 other things. So it's not possible to give this to Leo. What we can do is take it, upload here in ChatGPT, and then simply ask it to create an ADHD adapted model on how he can practice these words in his own system. And with my limited technical knowledge in programming, I was able to build HTML-based games for him. With this one, I asked it to generate code that was ADHD adapted with one task at a time. It could be dopamine, it could be bonuses, you could get guidance along the way, even if it didn't solve the challenge. But now, damn, we can create things with AI. We can take a math problem like this. He would never be able to sit and do this, but we'll take it. We'll write to ChatGPT. I want an ADHD adapted game for this, where you will teach my son how to learn this knowledge. And it's not a hallucination because here we have what he is supposed to learn. So it's not making up something that isn't true. We get a prompt here or an instruction. What should we do with it then? Now we can write it with simple text. So we enter a system here, basically taking our instruction that ChatGPT gave us. It takes a few minutes to generate a game like this, and it is sped up to twice the speed. In this video now, so you can see that it's loading a bit up here in the blue bar, and it will be done soon. This system is called WebSim AI, and it is currently free for everyone to use. And there are lots of games being created all the time. Here we got a game. It creates characters that you can choose from. And then it starts asking you questions about the tasks that were on the paper, more or less. And we get, you see, bonuses. You get some feedback on it. Oops, you missed. Try again, and so on. We can do this in more ways. We can test some words instead of needing to practice the words. We are doing the exact same setup now. Send this. We know which words we wanted to practice on. It should not make up words. These are the 10 words we are working with right now for this week or month in school or whatever it may be. Say the same thing. Create a prompt to make a game for my son with ADHD to learn how to spell these words. That's what we want to teach him this time. It brings it out. Spell correctly and collect points. It opens up to it. Materials, game setup, scoring system. There should be extra tips that one might need to progress in the game or learn. It didn't include the words, so I just wrote them here. Make sure to use only these words. We need to keep an eye on things and ensure that the knowledge is actually correct. Again, hallucination, but we want to say that this is the data you should focus on. Take the entire prompt. Same thing, submit it to WebSim AI. Simply create a game and you will see that it will look like this. And some take a little longer depending on how long the instructions you give them are. I have tested quite advanced things and you can do a lot with this system. Spell correctly, collect points, start the game. You see, you get some letters, you have to guess the others, and so on. And then you get a point system in this, quite simple. Another example I made was a bit more advanced. Here you learned how to work with math, shooting various objects. You get points when you hit the right one. You get penalties when you shoot incorrectly. What we need to know, in my opinion, and which I will send out through your system so that everyone can get these slides, are the ingredients for how we create good work with AI models. What do we need to tell the AI for it to be relevant? So show another thing as well. What can you do to keep up? And that is to use AI daily. I have to emphasize that. Test, experiment, and do everything. I have some examples. I will include them here as well. I just want to show the next step for me before I finish, and it's Education 2.0 for Leo, or whatever we should call it, which essentially means that you can screen share your computer and your phone, or have a camera filming a piece of paper. You have direct feedback from a resource or a mentor, call it what you want. And you can guide that mentor to do exactly what you want, behave however you want, and I believe it's your job, our job, to ensure that it is guided in the right way for the right needs. Thank you very much for having me here and allowing me to speak to you. Yes, thank you.